You can get going. I feel like it shows up. Oh, yeah. Stranger, so you're all set. All right. And don't make it push.
Who are you? I moved you back. I moved you. When I got here.
I said I go with that.
Somebody got that home.
This guy.
Yeah.
And then you have the guy parade up and down. That's all right.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order
I
and.
was talking to you about that. It will take a minute.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First, for the Dwyer report, we ran 14 total events, which includes 5 coffee hours throughout the county, which one of them was in our new office. That's something that I would hope to be continuing to do in the future. And we had 2 events at Beaver Hollow, had 2 horse riding days at Wolcott Farms. They had Pop-Up Lunch and Chart with Corral, Green War Remembrance Day, Fishing Day, Bike. We moved a wheelchair lift from Warsaw to disabled fella out in Bliss, and so we had a little lunch for the crew to help with us with that. That's good hard work on the day right there. And then there was some horse riding people that have ended up in Maine County. And total of 215 veterans that we saw or worked with in these events. And then you can see on the report, the office work, it's all, every category is gone up a decent amount in June between being better established. People, we notice people are seeing us more, contacting us more since we're in the new place. Like it feels more welcoming or they just like the location. But it's going to be working out so far in that regard. I recovered a total of $42,185.53 in disability pension claims for our veterans last month, which was an increase from around $26,000 a month prior. We're very happy with those results. And now, with on the claim side, and I'll finally have the VA PIP card. So now I can actually look in the file and help speed along the process of all of these things. So I believe it's put that out quicker and put more in the town.
Any questions regarding the Dwyer report or its monthly activities?
It pertains somewhat to the Dwyer report, but I know I contacted you and I mentioned something to Mr. Simmons as well a while back about possibly having our next meeting up at Beaver Hollow, so that we can see, the facilities. I know a lot of similar facilities, so we can go not just for us with the Dwyer program, but maybe there are other veterans programs that they have up there too. I did meet with the Snyders, and I thought that maybe it would be.
Sir.
Would you want to set that up if it's agreeable to go up there?
So that's up there. We'll be seeing her soon in the coming days.
Okay. And on the October meeting, I will not be here.
And you probably have to change the time because we have to have enough time to get from human
Correct.
Well, so we have to do what we have.
resources.
We have to go into the afternoon, maybe go there first time or something.
You want that for the end of October or end of September?
And October.
You think that would be all right, Emma? 'Cause
Yeah.
It's snowing.
So it would be,
Gee,
James would be in charge.
it might.
But with the logistics, because of the,
1 o'clock probably would be all right.
well, I mean, because we have to.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that, I'm sure that they can.
Well, it's just
I'll
one.
make Tony take me with him when we talk about this meeting.
Sounds good. Through the style in my Dodge here. The cars can't carry.
I do have to say, I don't know what program it was when I was up there, but it appeared to be all veterans that were all around the program here. just let me know.
Will they charge us to use their room?
No. I know, I have a friend who's a limo driver. It's always happening about bringing veterans from the airport out to be allowed for the programs that they want, so. I'm not sure, how far around the country that they're driving, but, it's a popular program.
Yeah, they get them from all across the country, they're charging for work on the mentioned the passport, 55 and 60 down there for 3-4 days. They're the might have to do a reset. They did the first one last month, so it went very well. The guys didn't want to. They helped so much.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
Okay, sure.
And for our veteran of the month, for the September meeting, is a World War II Navy and Battle Okinawa veteran. Still lives on 50 acres off 238, and he's cuts and stacks his own firewood. Showed him the pile, it's a pretty good sized pile. And I offered to give him a ride for the meeting, but he said he'll drive himself since he goes back and forth from Florida by himself every year. He'll be 97 in November, so the little guy will be a strong man. And
What was his name?
his name is Don Brooks.
But is he Don Brooks that used to do the insurance stuff? You work for Tompkins?
No, he worked for.
That's what Hillary Don Brooks.
And then in lieu of a proclamation, we're going to do a this day in history. And a second prize of the Iowa. We'll be discussing this 280th anniversary of the Battle of Baltimore, from the War of 1812, the Battle of Fort McHenry, where the national anthem was written by Scott Francis Key the next day. We're going to have a local tie-in as well. There's a prominent citizen from Wyoming County from the War of 1812, so I'm not sure he was going through and doing that day. He wasn't there, but it's a very interesting man. He's made it up to a 2-star general. So, thanks, and thanks to the county story, they had a lot of good information passed along to me. So they're very helpful to get.
Real careful, this might be a regular, because I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm a history kind of guy, so if you want to be, you can. And the choir picnic, we had this past Saturday at the Charter Corral, one of the drive-in screens, so I mean, they have good parking and speakers. And we had 275 reservations, which last year was 215 reservations. We only had 6 meals left, so 269 showed up. And all the veterans got a nice t-shirt, black t-shirt with the Battle of Iwo Jima, the flag raising, where it was subdued, but only the flag was in the red, white, and blue color. So I was very happy with that shirt. I went from a local veteran-owned embroidery business. So we're happy to do that for them. And we had a classic car contest there. First place went to a 57 Chevy pickup. Beautiful truck. And then while there, we created the first annual Brennan Memorial Service Award in honor of Michelle and Larry Brennan. Very helpful veteran over the years.
Did you get all the pictures?
Yes.
My one.
Show you how to do a nice little presentation that we can attach, and then maybe.
Yeah, that's
you
great.
can see what happened.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I-
We had Greg Landis was the winner of that award. He's a well-deserved recipient, who's done countless things and has volunteered many, many hours to make our Ada Wyoming County a better place. And many people said that this event, even though it was more run smoother, which I was happy about my first one, so a little nervous Friday night, didn't sleep too well, but went very well. Everyone seemed happy with it. The next thing we have is free haircut day on the 5th of October. So the basement of the Yak Center and students for the beauty parlor program at the Genesee Valley goes to Mount Morris. They come down and offer free haircuts for veterans. And this is something we started in the spring, and now school starting up soon. So it's something we're looking to do every single day.
What is that down like LC1 or something?
The larger one.
Yeah, it's also one, okay.
And they're all booked for through the rest of the year down there.
I would think it'd be safer to get your hair cut from the students in the spring. It's just coming.
But she assured me there's some third and fourth year students.
I was gonna say, might be the seniors. Might be the
I was
seniors.
gonna say, it's probably the
I'll let you know.
older group.
He used to offer to do.
And the last thing is Revolutionary Soldier Tombstone Ceremony. Fellow veteran Nick Fisher, he was one of the guys that presented the colors at our fair meeting. He's been working with us for about a year, a little bit more than that, to replace the tombstone of Revolutionary War Soldier. And first thing you gotta do when you're doing that kind of thing, you gotta prove your genealogy. And he's the first cousin 8 generations later of this guy. And we also had to send pictures to the VA proving the tombstone was unreadable, but he had a map that proves there. And so we got that all sent in, and he's planning late September, early October. Have a big ceremony. He's gonna contact the veteran community, the media, and all the elected officials to be there as well for that.
Is it?
We would see it in the cemetery.
Is the veteran that escorted Fairway? Because do you think that happened for us? Because that was a good add-on that nobody coached me on.
I'm pretty sure that was in whoever was thinking that after the meeting.
Yeah.
We're talking. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that wasn't either, but that was great.
Smart man.
A few years ago, they did something like this at a little cemetery in Pike, and I think it went through the Historical Society, and they actually had some guy that came out dressed up in the old Revolutionary.
Well, he was expecting that as well as
Okay.
fighting daughters of the revolution. And
Yeah, there was somebody there that was dressed up in that uniform way back then, and
Yes, he was looking to do it big this time. So that's one good thing about the VA, it's not horror stories, they'll remember you, even going back to soldiers of the French and Indian War, they'll replace the tombstones of, they prove it, like Mr. Fisher did. Something just kind of, as an FYI, I was talking to Don Roberts on Friday, and Mike Adams had been talking to him in the past about it as well. That, so we're going to be in the new part of the XR, since we're on 4 acres with wire funds, we want to do a covered area, like an open air kind of shelter with a fire pit in the middle of flag retirement. And I'm going to be working on getting 3 posts to lay the concrete pad at least this year. And I'm sure Kelly Dryson will have that in her committee in September, and hopefully for a snowfall, please have a pad. We'll worry about the rest of it.
what kind of patio?
A concrete pad.
Poured one or like.
No, I'm not order, but preferably with extra couple lines and use socks, that looks like garbage. We'll see, so we'll get the quotes.
I'll mention it to my brother-in-law because he wished he'd have known when the veterans did their thing at the hospital. Where they go. So he wished he'd have been known more, he would have helped. If we volunteer supplies or whatever.
Yeah, please. All right, that's all I have, unless there's some questions for.
As far as the flag, retiring, mechanism, there's one right there where the way, and there's some Eagle Scout that do that, Eagle Scouts, so I don't know if that would be helpful, so you reach out to them to do it, because they like to do that sort of thing.
Let's
I
go.
have, Jim McGuire's son, he's the guy running.
Yeah.
And he's a good man back there.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
just reach out to them, and they can participate.
Is that right
Yeah.
there? Is there anything else? All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Morning.
Oh,
Started with some numbers. No, it's not. I'm just gonna talk about.
I'm good. You know that. Okay, so just some updates on some numbers for you in our expanded home services program. We have 52 participants, 46 are active. 19 are getting PCA 1 services, and 16 of those are getting PCA 2. and 11 are getting a personal response button. For respite, we have 25 in that program, 22 are active. Right now, no one, 0 in adult daycare, 1 gets PCA 1, 3 get PCA 2, 1 is an overnight person, and our Lifeline, there's 7 people in that program under respite. I have 47 private pay personal response systems. And then for our unmet need grant, which is very similar to our in-home services program, we have 13 participants and 11 are active. This month for Alzheimer caregiver services, there are 51 families being served. For home delivered meals, we have 307 active. Today, 282 meals were being served. And our average at the congregate meal site is 14, and the Pine Lounge average is 45. So no big changes.
Any questions on those?
Right, number 2, you have a grant application and acceptance with the Alzheimer's Association.
Yeah, we're excited about that. We received the grant again for 5 years, but we're just doing it year by year because the amount changes.
Any questions on the grant or program? If not, can I give a motion to approve Supervisor Roberts? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Number 3, position create and fill. 2 personal care aides.
How did it go during HR? Did we have much discussion or not?
No, it doesn't start. It starts right here.
Excellent.
Because you can answer the questions.
That's right, I can. So you'll see, I came to you a few months ago talking about our concern that in the past 2 years, we are just unable to serve the seniors the way that we need to. And even though we have the money from the state grants that we receive, we are still struggling. I'm pulling this out because I checked again today. When I came to you before, I was asking for you to consider letting me research hiring my own aides. So what has happened at this point is the first thing that happened that made this even more important to me was I received a letter from Home Care and Hospice upping my PCA 1 and PCA 2 rates for 2023. So my hourly rates raised almost $2 an hour for the PCA 1, which is our general housekeeping and, just changing sheets and, helping the senior in their home. And the PCA 2 also went up $2 an hour, and that's for like personal care. Anytime you touch a person, you have to have a higher level of an aid. So I think if you remember, I was telling you that, that the hourly rate for the home care and hospice aides is around $15 an hour. That hasn't changed, but the administrative fee just went up another $2. So I'm, almost more than 50% is going towards the administration. So we sat down and we really took a good look. I have 23 people on the waiting list. That's enough to fill 2 full-time positions. And I took a look at everything I possibly could to see, what the costs would be and if they were comparable. I can't stand here and honestly tell you that I can tell you that as of today, it's a wash. If I were to hire a full-time person, full-time benefits, give them, health insurance and county benefits, I'm going to be around the same amount, but now I'm going to have control of the schedules. But I can't tell you is what the future is going to look like as, how many people need the service, you know, raises, fringe benefits and all of that. But I still feel very confident standing here today based on the success that 16 other counties in the state are having by bringing these people on. We have sat down and really talked about who's going to supervise them, what are the policies and procedures, what is this going to look like, and we worked it into our 2023 budget. The way that I did work it in is I would like to ask for approval for 2 positions today, but what I have planned is hiring 1 in January and seeing how it goes, and hiring, if it's great, we'll hire the second one in June. So I only budgeted for half a year for the second one. When I came to you in the beginning, I mentioned to you that there was already a CSCA position. After working with HR, with Dan and with Gabby, and really taking a look at the title, we did decide to not go with that title because there was just too much discrepancy in what I needed a person to do as compared to what a home health aide was going to do. So what I believe you're going to hear from them is that they have taken the request to the union for a personal care aide, which is a grade, step 1, grade 3.
Actually, it's grade 3, but the steps 1 through 6 are 1743 through 1908 is how it's presented.
That is exactly what it is. So I will be looking at, you know, actually there's a position called home health aide that is right there in that same one, but this is going to be new. And from what I understand, he doesn't get to present that, but he's talked with them and there's no problem. I have a feeling we add more union people that are happy with that. So I think you're going to hear from Dan and Gabby. We worked through all the job descriptions, you know, everything that we possibly needed to do this. The other thing that I looked into, originally I said, these people, I would need to pay mileage. So I figured that in. I have a great program at the office that actually I can plug in everybody's address and it will route them for me, the best route, and it will tell me how far and how much time. So I can actually make a pretty good guess on what a mileage reimbursement would look like based on that computer program that I have. So even with that added in, I am still looking at being somewhere under about $10,000 under what I'm paying right now. That is if every person on my wait list was served. They're not getting served. And, you know, so this is really what I feel would be the best move for us to keep people in their homes. And of course, you know, I always have to come with at least one shocking story that I wrote down. The last time I talked to you, we had an 87-year-old gentleman who had had multiple falls, multiple hospital readmissions, and he really doesn't have any family. And, you know, we couldn't serve him. He's on the wait list. I told you that he was one fall away, in our opinion, from a skilled nursing facility. And in fact, that is where he is living now. So, you know, I don't know if I could have saved, you know, that admission, but I do know that just having a little extra help in the home, we can keep people there a lot longer and a lot cheaper than having them land on Medicaid in the nursing facility. So questions?
Is there a fee to the people who use this?
No, there is not. They do have to be eligible, Sandy. So there is an income criteria. It is definitely the lower income people that get the service. And the people on my waiting list are all eligible.
So this is grant funded?
Hi, Vanessa. Well, it's grant funded. I mean, we have matches in there. You know, our state funding does have, and I can't tell you exactly what it is, but on my budget line, the with what the state gives me and what we're required to match, I spend about $200,000 a year on this program. However, the last 2 years, I've only been spending less than 80. So I'm leaving $120,000 on the table because I don't have aides to send into the homes. I don't have to send it back necessarily, but yeah, it does get redistributed. And, you know, to other counties that have the aides, but we're all struggling, and that's why 16 of us have decided to go this way, so that we can, we have control, we set the schedules, we supervise the aides, they're part of our team. We all work together to serve the senior, and, you know, I'll be interested. I'm not saying we are in hospice doesn't do a good job. I'm the president of that board right now, and there just are not aides to hire. So I think what I'm hoping is that with the higher level of pay, almost $2 an hour here, and this is what all OFAs are doing, and the chance for Monday through Friday, health insurance, vacation, it's a full-time position that, you know, we may just find a couple of people that, you know, would stick with us for a long time.
And this is ongoing state aid, correct?
Correct. Oh, yeah.
It's not like a time limited.
There is not, it's not.
Can you go over the supervising piece? Are we going to absorb that $2 increase in our own payroll where someone's going to want to be stipend to oversee this?
That's a great question. Right now, the way that I have it set up is I have 2 case managers on you know, in our office, and they each have a list of clients that they serve in this program. We are going to be asking them to be the person that is keeping track of their people, their client, and their aide. So with the help of Tess and I, of course, because we only have 2, you know, if people call and they don't want to be seen that day, we're all going to have to help each other out. We really think that we can do this without you know, because we're already doing it. When home care and hospice has a person on their caseload, we are in that loop with them. If there's a cancellation, if we have to, you know, change something or discipline someone or, you know, evaluate them, we're all involved in that anyway. So I don't see a huge change, but that's a good question, Vanessa.
Any other questions?
Have you put any feelers out for being able to hire someone?
I really haven't, like, I can tell you that just personally, there's, I actually have 2 family members that are in the skilled nursing facility, so I'm constantly watching. There's a special person that needs to do this. It's a hard job, and the thing that I love is when I meet people that work over at the hospital because of the fact that there is a stable job with benefits, and it's a little bit different because they work nights and weekends and all of that, but they, you know, I just get the feeling that the reason that they're there and not, you know, out working for an agency is because they need the stability of the benefits. So the answer is no, it's a big figure for us.
Do these individuals have like a degree or a certificate?
After working with Dan and Gabby, we did not put that in as a requirement. What we did put in is a certain number of years of experience taking care of people. When it comes to the personal care second part where you actually have to touch people, we still don't need a certification, but we need someone with a medical, like an RN, to supervise that. Luckily, I got Laura Palucci on my side if it comes to that, where she would be able to provide us with that if necessary. We're trying to work around that. There are ways to work around that, where you do it based on experience. You know how many people are out there, I don't know, like I'll use an example. My father-in-law, we have an aide for him. Her name is Renee, and she's absolutely wonderful. And when I started asking her about her background, she retired from like J.C. Penney store like 12 years ago, and she started doing this for a neighbor, taking care, doing extra. She has been a personal care aide now for 12 years. That's the kind of person that we're hoping we get to apply for something like this. She's really, I don't know how she's doing it, we pay her by check and she, goes from there because she probably has to pay taxes on that and everything. But we didn't want to discount those people that have a lot of experience but never got the home health aide certificate. And I think that that's what's happening across the state. We asked our Office for the Aging, do we have to have it? And the answer is no. And our case managers that are bachelor level can actually supervise them. We wanted to make sure it didn't have to be a medical person. So I'm following the rules.
Any other questions? Not, can I get a motion for the create and fill for these two positions? Mr. Davis?
I'd like to see, let's do the 6 month and see how it goes before we move deeper into it. I like that idea. Because I'm having a difficult time adding employees right now. We've added a lot of employees to the county level this year. And to add more when we're looking at a very big increase on our taxes right now. So, and I'm also, because I came on when we got rid of the CHA, and it's like we've got out of one thing because of some reason, and now we're trying to go into,
I hear you, I
you know what I
totally
mean?
understand, yes.
Into having employees going out into people's homes, and the liability, is it gonna change our insurance to have, to do this? You start sending employees out, and if something happens, I'm really skittish on it. So, but I'll be willing to try the 6 months and see how it goes.
I want to keep track for myself too, because if this becomes more than what I thought, I'm taking a gamble.
And that's gonna be it, the scheduling, the reliability of your person. Yeah, it is, it's gonna be a lot on you.
It is.
To start and to get this to go. And I appreciate that you're trying to do this for the elderly in this community. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I just have one comment. I think globally, you're looking at a better plan. But also, you might want to talk to discharge planning at the hospital. I know you talked to them, but like they're doing some restructuring too. And their plan is to keep people out of the hospital. So if we can have the aides in the home, it's way better for the county to do that. Right, than to go back into the hospital.
I had a very preliminary discussion with David just about that in general, because I think personally, this aside, I think this will help. But I also think that I might be able to provide something that helps with that transition. We tried something a few years ago and it just wasn't set up quite right. But I would like to get more involved in that, where we help people transition so that they don't get readmitted. And that's something a lot of OFAs are looking at, being that community resource for the discharge planners and the social workers at the hospitals.
Yeah. We're very limited here in this county. So we need to really look at things like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I hope it works.
I do too.
And I think having someone in the home with eyes on the whole situation.
Yeah.
Your discussion about the gentleman with the falls or whatever. I mean, when you're talking about an elderly population, or you're talking to throw rugs and whatever, and you think nothing of having, putting your bath mat down and it's too difficult to pick it up or whatever, so you just leave it down and then some of the slips
Or forward and it's caught up.
or just an assessment of like, let's move the furniture this way or whatever.
It already works well, even with our contracted agency, when you hook people together, that, we will get that call that Mrs. Jones just wasn't acting right today. And that triggers us to make a visit. or make a phone call. But in this case, what we have worked into the way our this is going to work is the aides are going to have a Monday morning or a Friday morning meeting every week. So they're gonna have to come in because at times it doesn't make sense if someone lives in Eagle and their first care person is in Arcade.
Right.
You know, I might as well save the mileage. You don't have to come to Warsaw and before you go to Arcade. But we wanted to have that piece where we all come together. And, you know, once this is, you know, big and beautiful, it would be, you know, Tess and myself and the case managers and then the 2 aides. And we would talk about the list of clients. Do we need to know anything? Did you notice anything? And if anything is life or death, we want to call. But it could be like what you said, like, do you think you're the Alzheimer coordinator, I have an Alzheimer caregiver coordinator, could go in and talk to them about removing all the throw bugs? Let's get rid of them. Or let's, you know, figure out a way so that someone can't turn their oven or their stove on and leave it on all day, that won't happen, that we can figure out, you know, a timer or something like that. I'm nervous but excited, like you know, as you said, Sandy, is that I just think that, you know, if you love where you go to work and you love the people you're working with and you have a good, solid base under you, and when you need something or have a complaint, you can call our office and we're going to be there for you. I'm hoping to get, you know, 2 outstanding applicants.
Anything else? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 4.
So this one I'm going to ask you, I don't know, Cheryl, what do you call it? It's not going to happen. I feel badly about this, and I'll tell you what, tomorrow is our senior forum. Maggie called us, Doug, and said, we have people that want to go, but they can't get there. They need a ride. So we said, we will make this happen. It was very expensive, but we actually had a line that we could use. And we said, we'll get you an RTS bus, but we have to get 10 people on it. It's $320 round trip. And, you know, they assured us that I had to cancel today, we had 4. And I just couldn't justify $320 for 4. So what I'm gonna try to do is, I know some other Arcade folks that are coming. And I think Tess is gonna just give them a call and say, hey, if you've got room in your car, you know, Mrs. Jones would really like to come, but she doesn't have a ride. It might not work out, but you know, at the end of the day, we didn't have 10 people. So
We'll just withdraw.
Thank you.
All right. Any other,
Yeah, a couple of senior forum is tomorrow. I'd love to have you stop by if you're in the area. It's from 8:30 until about 1 o'clock. We've got, when you walk into Perry High School, the foyer is set up with, I think, 12 different agencies that serve seniors. Everything from home care and hospice to veterans to senior wide action council and senior wishes and just, you know, a whole mental health is coming, just all of our organizations that have things for seniors. And around 9:15, everybody's going to move into the auditorium where we have some really good speakers. My advisory council got together, a small committee, and they picked the topics. So I thought that was kind of interesting this year. There's always some that you see that are the same, like scams and identity theft is on there. We've got the Better Business Bureau coming out along with this year it's going to be the chief of police from Warsaw. Just because there wasn't some, with Greg and all the craziness, there wasn't somebody to come, but we got a police officer to come and talk about some scams and things they see in our area. The Better Business Bureau is going to talk a little bit about how you can protect yourself. And all of these speakers have, you know, about 30 minutes to talk to the group. They're not moving. They didn't want to move. They wanted to stay in their seats and have the people rotate through. So we've also got a home care and hospice speaker that is going to talk about really what is hospice care and when do you know, sometimes you hear it for the first time when you have a loved one that is, you know, is not gonna make it. So, you know, let's learn what hospice is now, and let's compare it to comfort care. So there's 30 minutes on that. We've also got Robert Strassel coming in to talk to the group about estate planning. He has been a guy that we have heard some good things about. He's a local attorney that's been doing estate planning for some of our seniors, and we've had really good luck, and they really liked him. So they're the ones that went out and asked him if he would do this. We've also got Tony, oh my gosh, you kind of look like Tony, hi. We got Tony coming in to do veterans talk, and I'm looking forward to having him, you know, talk to the group, and trying to think of the one that's really, to me, very interesting, and again, this was the senior idea. I don't know if you've kind of seen this movement since COVID to self-care and taking care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. Well, it has become a really hot topic with the seniors too, because they're hearing all these things. And I often get questions about, you know, Andrea, what is this CBD oil? What should I know about it? Is it illegal? Is it this? Is it that? So we are doing a section on self-care, and it's a little different. We have somebody coming in to talk about you know, alternative forms of things like CBD oil and things like meditation and yoga and Reiki. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's you know, some sort of healing energy, you know, getting rid of the negative in your life and accepting the positive. And I think we'll be interested to see. Again, the seniors went out and found the speakers for us.
Do you have a flyer for this for tomorrow?
I do. I didn't bring one, but
Email it to me and I'll get it out to everybody.
Okay, yeah, I've got 80, just so you know, 80 people on the list. We're gonna serve them lunch, and you know, it's gonna be a great day. Another thing I wanted to tell you about that I did hear in the flyer for Cheryl is Senator Gallivan's office contacted me, and we already have a contract with the Center for Elder Law and Justice to help our seniors with you know, any sort of legal thing within reason. I mean, we're not gonna, you know, be able to refer them if they have, you know, a farm in an estate that they need help settling, but we are gonna be able to help them with, you know, scams and identity theft sort of stuff, Medicaid, powers of attorney, not wills, but, you know, basically getting them ready for things like do not resuscitate orders and whatnot. His office contacted us because they have a whole legal unit. I didn't know this. It's the same company that I contract with, but this company is going around and they're actually doing one-on-one appointments, like as an extra. So you can call, and on September 28th, between 10 and noon, you can come in and see somebody. The whole unit will be at my office. So, and
Thank you.
yeah. And I also wanted to let you know that, you know how involved we are with Alzheimer's and different types of dementia. We get pretty involved with the Alzheimer because they're the ones that provide us the funding. And we are involved in their walk, which is on October 1st. And I don't know if you have seen any, I cannot believe how much money we've already made. We just put out some big tubs with the help of building grounds, and we've been collecting cans. And every Monday when we come in, our thing outside the front of the office is filled with cans, and we take them and put them on our account. Last I checked, we were in like the $3,000 range that we're gonna get to contribute to Alzheimer's. So if you want to throw your cans somewhere, come over to my office. That walk is October 1st. Also, well, you know, let's do the Youth Bureau, and I'll tell you how the Youth Bureau is supporting the Alzheimer. That's all I have for EG, you know, questions. So on early intervention, this is kind of a time of year where we start to transition kids from the little program of early intervention to the preschool program. I have 86 active in early intervention and 10 are waiting for an evaluation. But I also wanted to put on there so that you knew that as of August 21st, 20 actually transitioned to the preschool program. I still have 86 little ones, but there was in the vicinity of over 100, and 20 of them are now preschoolers. Out of that 20, we retest them. There's different qualifications for preschool than early intervention, and 2 of the 20 did not qualify for preschool. So 18 kiddos moved over. So the preschool numbers that were very low last time are now 18 higher. So they're 85 in preschool. 20 of those 85 go to a center-based program. And those are tough for me. You're going to see some things after this about transportation that are just crazy. But those 20 kiddos, I have to get to their school, and the bus transportation is hard to find because of the driver situation. But anyway, I don't have any hiatus right now, so 0, which is really good.
Any questions on those? Overnight travel authorization.
Yeah, this is for Safe Harbor. Cheryl, you did ask me. The only cost to this is the gas that we're going to put in the county car. The rest is provided.
Yeah, just kind of, 40 bucks is what you got to pay.
Okay, 40 to 50 bucks.
Yep.
Can I get an authorization for that, motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 7, amending resolution 21-262. This is the beginning of your.
Yeah, this is the beginning of getting, phone calls that prices have gone up. Please, will you work with us on this? And I put the numbers in there. I guess according to the contract, we approved the contract. It doesn't list rates in the contract, but or the resolution, I should say. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what these are looking like, and it really has to do with the CPI and the gas prices, which I know gas prices are sneaking back down, but it seems like it's taking forever. So we have the ability to do this both ways. We can increase it and then decrease it based on what's happening in the world. But this particular Attica Bus Company does a big route for us to Springville, and I believe there's about 14 kiddos that go to Springville. A lot of our summer these kids go there, so we're gonna have to, in order to keep that going, we have to do the rates.
Because they can.
Okay, and then the other one is the Corvus.
So I'm just, I have a hard time.
Big difference in the rates.
Yes.
Big difference in the rates from what Attica charges.
Well, not only that, it's one child. So I've got one kiddo that we've got to get to Cat Alley BOCES. That's this is all mandated stuff, and the company that does it, I mean, let's just say if I could get a couple more kids going there, I would feel better, because the way they do it is it's the same price for one as it is for 5. So if I could find, and that might happen now, so we have the busing to there, but right now, yeah, that's what's happening in the world of transportation stuff. So, and then the third one is also amending a contract, but it's different. It's not for prices, it's to change the dates. Okay.
Supervisor King makes a motion for all 3. Any discussions or questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 10, grant application and acceptance.
Yes, I finally got my number. We started the contract January 1st, and I finally got the number for, this is our OCFS money for the Bureau of Stars program, Youth Court, and only a project that we do.
Okay. Any questions regarding this? Not can I get a motion to approve it? I'll make. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 25th anniversary youth court.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, something that the youth board, girls are working on. And actually, maybe this is on the line, when is Chelsea due?
November 27th.
Oh, she may not be able to come to this. We, on November 12th, or yes, it's a Saturday, November 12th, we are going to have a brunch in the morning at the Burn Cliff. And we've got a whole bunch of our graduates coming back for the brunch and our new kiddos that are there. And we've just had a couple hour program planned to find out what they've been up to and what they're doing. Chelsea, Luann's daughter, was one of our youth court graduates, and now, lo and behold, she works for the county. So I think Judy was going to call her and see if she could, get her on the list. So we just wanted to let you know. I'll have end invitations, and I'll let you all know if you're not doing anything on that morning. You can come over and see some successful kids.
That was a great program.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. Still is.
All right, number 12 is proclamation, September's youth court month. I get a motion on that. Supervisor Gray, you. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. ECJS, right?
Yeah, I wanted to let you know, and I think I may have mentioned it, but if not, in case. I got a phone call back in May from the Department of Criminal Justice, and they said, we have some money we want to give you because you are a rural youth bureau that serves, kids. I was like, whoa, okay, tell me about it. And basically it's $30,000 that's going to be coming our way, but it's over a 2-year period. So it's from now till the end of this year, and then all of 23 and 24 until June. And so we had to sit down and talk about it. And one of the things that the youth court girls really wanted to see, and I have always wanted to do, I know you've heard of Leadership Wyoming, which is through the Chamber of Commerce. Well, I've always wanted to have a youth leadership Wyoming, and it just takes money to start those things up. And so after discussions with Justin Dubengeiser from the BDC, Scott Gardner, myself, and I was able, Genesee County has a program that's 10 years old, and I was able to get their curriculum. We are going to embark on this for 20. We're going to work on it now. We're going to get applications out. But the one caveat that I wanted to mention is, even though you usually hear leadership programs and you immediately think the top 10 of the class, and those are the leaders, we're going to take it a little bit of a different angle. We want good kids, but not all kids are top 10. So I really want to try to get those kids that, someday they're going to own a business, or, they might go to a 2-year college for a skilled trade or something. And I want to get them into a program like this. So I'm going to use the school district superintendents. I've talked to all of them and said, you think your counseling people could help us with this? And not that a top 10 can't be in it and they can apply, but I don't want it just to be marketed towards that group. So we're going to do this all next year and start the program October of 23 for 8 sessions. The kids will get out of school. They will still get credit for being in school because they're accepted into this program. And I would like 4 or 5 from each district. We'll see what we got. We can actually handle up to 20, 25 in class. They're going to get a lot of material on leadership. They're going to learn about personality types, and they're going to learn about agriculture and education and travel and tourism and behind the scenes, just like Leadership Wyoming does. And we're gonna see if we can make it happen, and if the schools like it, we'll see if we can somehow figure it out. I kind of have a thought in the back of my mind as to how I can keep funding it, so we'll see how it goes. But I just wanted to tell you, in case you have a kid or a grandkid, it's in grades 9 through 12, or yes, 9 through 12.
So at some point you need to come back with your, grant acceptance award.
You know what, I think I did it last month.
Oh,
I think we accepted it.
Cool.
I just didn't have the program nailed down yet. So I think I said it.
No,
Two more items.
Two more.
more.
All right.
Global YMCA.
Yeah, this is actually another grant that came up. I don't know how the state thinks we can do this stuff so quick. So we got notified in August that we were going to get $6,253 from the sports wagering program that's going on. I'm sure you all know that last year we started to be able to gamble online and to do all of that sports wagering. Well, one of the deals with that in New York State was that 1% of the profits of that have to go to youth sport programs. So it was $1 million this year, and they split it up among all youth girls in the state. It's a very, small amount, $6,253. The thing I love is we got to spend it by December 31st of 2022. So I immediately went to the Y. I couldn't do it myself. It had to be a 501c3. And we thought of the Y, and now this is going to be fun. I wish I was a young person, because they have wanted for years. This is a new thing that kids love. Wait till you hear it. Nerf ball gun leagues. Ever heard of such a thing? So they wanted to do it, but they don't have the money to buy the Nerf guns. I mean, you need a lot of Nerf guns for this. So we started talking about, scholarshiping in Wyoming County kids to be able to participate in this league throughout the year. The good news is we're getting the grant every year, and we only think it's going to go up. 1% of the sports wagering profits are, they've already told us to plan on at least double for next year, and then we'll see. So this is what the plan is you're going to see the Y is typically a member-based organization, but it will not be for this program. And they will run leagues, however many teams they can get together, and the age of the kids is important for this grant. They have to be 6 to 17. Obviously, we don't want a 6-year-old going against a 17-year-old. The Y is going to deal with that part, not me. But I gotta go see it when it all happens. So. Yeah.
So your grant this year was $6,253, and you're spending $5,000 on this contract.
We're gonna keep $1,200 for salaries and fringe on our end.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. It does.
This job keeps me young.
I'll be amazed that doesn't get shut down. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's a dungeon.
No, it's on.
Just saying.
Let's see if it does.
Somebody's gonna.
I never even thought of it.
Absolutely.
Apparently, have you heard of it? I haven't heard of this.
I haven't heard of it.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
I haven't, but
They are having a hard
The Y has done it historically on their own. They've had Nerf gun war days where during their summer camps and things, the kids have come in and done that on their own.
Well, don't anybody complain, because I think it sounds fun. But there probably will be, Brian, you're right.
They'll just
It does get a little crazy.
Okay, can I get a motion on this contract?
I'll move it.
Supervisor McCormick? Any further discussion, questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay, and grant application and acceptance with
This is just a little cleanup. We did it backwards. We had to appropriate the money for this, but we never accepted it and it was caught and we found out. So I need to go back and have you authorize that we can apply and accept the money.
Okay. All right. Supervisor Davis. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
You know, there's always stuff for me. One more thing I wanted to tell you about, 44 summer programs for the youth, just finished up last week with over 500 kids participating. We had a lot of fun, and then I mentioned that the youth bureau was going to be doing something for the Alzheimer walk. But we just enjoy having Leah Caledonia because she's young and full of ideas. We did this last year, but it's gotten really big. It's called Quacking for a Cause. And she's worked it into one of our youth bureau programs where kids sign up and there are little ducks. Well, not really, they're hidden around the county and they're all there now. You might find one somewhere. And there are riddles and clues and the kids have to go around. We were just working on the one in Pike the other day because they hid it by or inside the cannon at the fair. So they made up the riddle to go, and they have to go take their picture next to it and do all of the things, and they get extra points if they, there's a big event at the Dwyer Stadium in Batavia where in October, they're going to announce amounts of money that they raised. And if the kids go to that event, then they get extra credit and extra points so that they can win some prizes. And last year, we had tons of families do it. I don't know if it was because COVID kind of took us out of being in places, but it's in every town in the county. So Quacking for a Cause, if you have any grandkids or little kids that you think would have a blast finding the things.
So is there one duck?
One duck in each place.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's about 50 of them hidden.
Oh, okay, so there could be multiple.
Yeah. They have to take their picture and they have to turn it in. We've got it all set up on the computer, so they upload it. It's great. So that's it. That's all I got. Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Barber.
Always have to wait. Oh.
Morning.
Carol, this is thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Wonderful. I would like to start by introducing my new director of services, Mike Drum. I started him from the hospital. Sorry.
I just heard that. I'm Megan Alden's sister. Darn, I got the letter yesterday.
We're very happy to have him.
First on the agenda, we have 3 positions.
Yes, I have a community services worker position. This was a strange situation. Tommy Hume was, excuse me, did she just move it to this one? She left it. Okay. She was only in it 2 weeks.
That's what I thought.
Tommy Hume works in services with families. And she wanted a promotion, so she went to temporary assistance to help people find employment. And she was in this position for 2 weeks and said, I miss my families that I work with in services. So she asked to go back to the community services aid position. So now we still have this community services worker position that we need to fill. And we already have several applications from before when we hired Tommy.
Okay.
So we're just trying to refill it.
And why don't you go over the other 2?
She's already back upstairs.
Okay. All right. And then your senior social services program specialist.
Yes, Susan Patrick will be retiring, effective 9/10. And she is in the SNAP unit. We would like to refill her position.
And then data entry machine operator.
That's for Renee Johns, who has only been in this role for maybe a year, is retired. So, this is crucial to the department. We write authorizations for payment lines, and they have to be data entered into our system. We only have one position like this that does this work.
Any questions for Commissioner on these? If not, can I get a motion to approve? Supervisor King. All in favor? Opposed? Here. Appropriation.
Okay, so we have been inundated with homeless people. I think people have been talking to their friends and saying, go to social services, they'll put you up in a hotel. And we had the money in a grant. We got several $100,000 in a grant. That money is being spent rapidly. So Rachel Miles is just asking for money to appropriate for the grant before we actually claim it. Once we claim it, the money will come back into our coffers.
Any questions on this? Supervisor Davis makes the motion. All in favor? Opposed? Here. Overnight travel authorization.
We have a new worker in child support, so this training doesn't come along very often, and we saw it. This is kind of a quick add-on, so that we could get permission to send her.
Can I get a motion to approve the travel? Supervisor Roberts. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We have several professional services contracts.
Yes, these are for rental units that need to be paid through the Munis system. Landlords that we have been working with.
Any questions from anyone on these?
The first one on the list in the Bloomfield, the property is located in Wyoming County, though, correct?
Yes.
It's just the corporate office. Okay,
Landlord
thank you.
lives- Yes, the landlord lives in Bloomfield.
Any other questions? If not, can I then have a motion to approve? Supervisor King. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And your number 7 is an amended contract with chances of changes.
Yes, we had a client in the chances and changes facility. She stayed quite a while, so she used up the amount of money we had, so we had to increase. She's gone, but we needed money there for the next person.
And what is this funded through? Is it a specific grant?
We get money from the state. We appropriated so much money for paying for domestic violence services.
Can I get a motion on this? If there are no questions or comments? Supervisor Davis? All in favor?
Apparently,
Opposed?
like an auction.
Carried.
Before we move on, Kim, you gave me a Pro Properties Group LLC, which looks like one of these homelessness agreements, but it's not on your list. Do we need to add it to the list?
She said that Judy Gardner gave her one last minute this morning,
Yeah,
so I'm assuming that is what she meant.
because I'm looking at Laura's apartments, which I have. This is the conversation we had. So these were the four that we're working on getting actually, these have already been posted so that they can start paying these people. But this one, I think we have to add to the list. It's Pro Properties. I'm not sure where they're out of, but I'm assuming maybe I got something in my email.
Erica, yes. I assume that
Number
that's the same thing that I did on your, that I just gave you.
Yeah,
The agenda doesn't give the address. It's my agenda has the address is Erica. Post office.
yeah, got it. So that is Pro Properties, Attica, effective February 1st through September 30th, 2023. And they did get it into units, so we'll be able to work on that.
So you just adding that to the resolution.
We are.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Just okay.
I think I looked at it, I don't always get a chance to look at them all.
I know it was 10:30 when Beth said, I have to add another, and I said, does it have to go today? And she said, they won't get paid.
Yeah.
If we don't, so.
Is there any objection to amending the motion to include Pro Properties? Okay, before it.
Okay, my statistics are not, there's not big changes. People are not coming in droves for assistance, which is great. It's summer, people have jobs for the summer, so as I look at my stats, applications registered for July was 176 and it was 198 in June. So I anticipate August will be even less because we're working. And then as you look at my foster care numbers, again, they're pretty stable. We have 20 kids in care. Several kids are with relatives. And then child protective reports, there were 46 in July. And I'm not hearing that they're jumping. They probably won't jump until school's back in session. When then teachers make more reports.
Now the homeless, because you said the homeless numbers were up, are they not applying for other benefits, or they?
Yes, they are.
There, okay.
Yeah, it's the last month to 6 weeks that we saw the big jump, so I'm guessing August will be higher. Any questions about my stats? Or anything else?
I guess.
We're hungry.
All right, thank you very much. And today we have two people, the transition.
Yes.
And community action.
So we'll start with you. So this is my agenda for today is to talk a little bit about our employment and training program, some of our results for last year and what we're already seeing for this year, you're gonna see that, our budget request for this year, we have asked for some additional funding to specifically help in, the training and employment program area. And then I'm going to let Carrie introduce herself and say a little bit about what we have coming along. Some of you may or may not know, but I decided to retire as of the end of September. So, and Carrie will be taking my place. So I'm really excited and happy for her and for the agency, and you know, I will certainly continue to be on speed dial, or, you know, and make sure I'm monitoring emails still and things like that to try to make this an easy and smooth transition. A lot of you may know that, you know, there's been time along the way in the past, say, 10 years or so, that the agency is, you know, it's had some challenges leadership-wise, but I think we're really in a good place now. And we've got not only Carrie, but we have some really good staff, new staff on board that are making things happen in the agency. And it was good to be here, for Carrie to be here, to hear what other departments are doing too. So let me tell you a little bit. Our employment training goes from July to June. So we're really, July was a month where we wrapped up reporting on the year for employment training. And if you can recall, through time, we had some challenges with funding in the WIOA world, and so we actually ended up seeking out some additional funding from other areas to help the training needs specifically that we've been seeing coming to us. So we got a grant from 5-Star. We've also used some Project Uplift funding that we got from the United Way as well. So I'm happy to say that this past year, and this really doesn't even include all the people that we funded that through the WIOA program, we were the highest of any county in terms of our achievement in our training. We got to 146% of goal for the year on our training. And we put, I believe, 46 people through, you know, solid training. This is certification CNAs, LPNs, RNs, through the program. That doesn't count. We did CBL trainings. We have hospital tech trainings that we're also have funded as well. So this year, our July numbers were already at 40% of our goal for the year. So the good news in that is that people are starting to engage and understand that they need to get back to the workforce. They need to be improving their skills. We have 15 trainees for CNA and LPN right now going through the program, most of which are people that were referred from the hospital. As you know, and Andrea spoke to this as well, you know, the challenges are real in terms of getting people in these kinds of, and good quality people in these kinds of jobs. So we're really putting a focus on that the past couple of years. Oh, sorry, that's my phone, I think. And so we really can see this only growing through this period of time. So I also wanted to, I guess, point out that Cheryl sent something around on the Globe with the Hands event that's coming up in September. And it's on Tuesday, September 29th from 9:30 till 1. And if you have not been to this program, it is amazing to watch the engagement of these high school youth in all that goes on throughout the day. It's at Genesee County Fairgrounds. Has anybody been to it at all? It's, we get businesses to come in, and there's major interactive work type experiences going on throughout the day. And school kids are bussed in from the 4 counties and toured around to each of the stages and areas to experience what it's like to run a backhoe or climb an electric line. So it's a really good event. So if you have the opportunity, certainly would encourage you. There's also one being planned for next year that is strictly healthcare related. So they're working on doing that. I believe in the spring of 2023, they're hoping to get that done. So, but now I'll introduce Karen Johnson and let her speak for herself. So I'm Karen Johnson, and I started actually a year and a half ago, almost to the day, at Community Action as the Community and Family Services Director. So my background is in social work and
I was Karen, actually, if you can come up to the podium, I know,
Sorry.
not to be intimidating.
It's okay, I was
We're on Zoom, so they wouldn't be able to see you. Disadvantage.
So sorry about that. So I held the position of Community and Family Services Director. My background was saying is in social work, degree in social work. And prior to this, I actually spent 5 years working under a Department of Justice OVW grant at Sui Geneseo. So that was interesting. My grant ended, wasn't going to be refunded, the position was going to be filled, so I took a stab at Wyoming County. And here I am. So it is also an exciting time for me to be taking the helm. I have some big shoes to fill, I know that. A couple of our board members here. And so what else? We've been working on a whole lot of things. Most recently, we've teamed up with social services on a rental supplement program grant that we just started executing and putting into action. We've also are about to start in October collaboration with the Department of Health on the Healthy Families Leader 5-year grant. Let's see, we've got Project Uplift was renewed. So we have that until March. I took a stab at a Mother Breeding Foundation grant working with incarcerated individuals. We have a part-time person, Darren, who does amazing already in that capacity and working with those who are formerly incarcerated or are currently incarcerated, and working on those family ties and all those things that we do, employment and, getting a roof over your head, all those things. So we're hoping to extend that next year when the shield money runs out. I'm sure there's more, there's always something. I was very busy.
It's always nice when you bring somebody up that's within the organization. They're not coming in and say, well, I've got a lot to learn, and I know you still have a lot to learn or whatever, but you're so well versed in what the organization's mission is, and a lot of the program, the staffs. That adds to the comfort zone of the board.
And we're, she's been on transportation meetings that we've been having now for a year and a half to try to attend it. It comes up again today with Andrea. And so, she has been engaged in those conversations for a long, and we will solve this. One of these days, we will work towards getting something better going in this county for it. It's
Tough.
that's definitely a huge obstacle that, we need to find some sort of middle ground solution for. Thank you.
Yeah. We do have some appointments to make to the building workforce and investment board and the organization representative, Mary Grace Nenny from Orleans County, and organized labor representative Robert Soter from the bricklayers and allied craftsmen, craft workers, local 3. Can I put a motion on that? Davis, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. She slipped out before I got a chance to say it. It's been wonderful working with Rosen and just having her come on to the community action in challenging times, very challenging times. Jerry can attest to, you know, when you land to see some of the programs that they've been working on, just getting that whole organization stabilized. They're a great asset to the county. I know when they first started up decades ago, it was, they offer an alternative to what the county can do in that instances. They don't have some of the barriers that we have as a government agency. And some of our departments, you know, have really benefited a lot from being able to partner with some flexibility, so.
I don't know if I understand. It comes out of this committee.
Oh.
Wait, because if you do that, we have to do some sort of a resolution. If it's a chairwoman's,
Well, I'm asking because I'm still in committee, right?
who's gonna write it is my thing. We need to be like, you know, Rosie Shader Day, and I need like good stuff. It's all about Rosie Shader.
We'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lisa's great at that too.
But she's not gonna be around
Yeah,
much.
she's got a fat staff up there.
I'm good with it, I'm just saying, you know, I'm down 3 days this committee cycle with Lisa, because she's got some things to attend to, so,
Yeah.
and that starts tomorrow.
Okay, so we'll give you okay stuff. Good stuff.
Okay.
That's not a question either.
All right, and if it's not, if it doesn't have it, maybe I'll do it share.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to come out of the committee and itself, do I have a motion? I think, member of the committee. Mr. Davis is not in the way. Okay. All right, I've got a motion. Supervisor Davis. To have the board recognize the contributions of Rosie Shader and Wyoming County Community Action. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other business to come before the board? All in favor? We are adjourned.
Nothing to do there.
Go up there and do his work.